You're listening to the Annuity Agents Podcast with Anthony Owen. Anthony is the co-founder of a $20 million per year annuity agency, president of Annuity Agents Alliance and Annuity Innovation Systems, co-founder of Safe Money Radio Marketing, and monthly contributor to Think Advisor. Each week, Anthony and his partners at Annuity Agents Alliance update you on the annuity business with marketing, sales tools, sales process, and case design strategies. Before we get started, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss information that will help you build your annuity business.
Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Owen, president of Annuity Agents Alliance, and today I'm with Olivia Richardson. She's a senior director of senior market specialists. They specialize in Medicare, and we are really pleased to be able to partner with them. This is a new partnership for us, and they are also an integrity partner. And so welcome, Olivia. Thanks for joining me today.
Yes, good morning, and thank you so much for having me. I love getting to have these conversations with our partners, so really excited about today.
We are very, very excited to branch out into this part of the business. Medicare is something that's super specialized. We specialize in annuities and life insurance, and you guys specialize in Medicare, and we would much rather have experts run that side of the business for our partners. So maybe we could just start off, we're doing a joint venture here. Just provide us with some information on your business. Tell us a little bit about senior marketing specialists, how long you guys been around, who your principals are, what are some of your core value propositions, things like that.
Yeah, so a lot of people who know senior marketing specialists are, they know us on the brokerage side. They know us on as independent agents. A lot of people don't actually know that we have been in the business of insurance since 1975. We started out in a tiny town called Trenton, Missouri, and we were just an insurance agency founded by Larry D. Barnes at the time, called Barnes Insurance Group, and that was way, way back in the day. And so what the majority of agents know us as being senior marketing specialists was actually founded in 1995 by our current president, Joanne Ray, and of course, founder of McNerney Management Group, Dan McNerney, which is just another, and those, again, two just industry giants in our organization. So we've been around for a really, really long time and have seen so many different market shifts. It's been, incredible to be a part of this journey. And then in 2020, we actually became an integrity partner, which just took our really fast, really steady growing company to a completely different level, thanks to a lot of what you talked about, that areas being able to specialize, having the partnerships that we can have, things like that. So that's something, I've been with the company now for almost 10 years, and it's been really cool to kind of see what we've done just in the short amount of time that I've been here, but then just taking that next step with integrity. It's been incredible. So we work with independent agents. We do anything that touches a senior minus the annuity and financial stuff. Cause like you talked about you gotta have your specialties. It's nice to have a partner that does specialize in the Medicare field because it changes every day. Medicare can be, we always say there's a million rules and a billion exceptions. So it's really nice to know that you're working with somebody who has an eye on all corners of that industry, all corners of that nuance of Medicare, working on your behalf, working on the behalf of our agents.
In 1975, I might have looked as young as you. So
people are like, so what were you doing in 1975? I'm like, I just have a great skincare routine. That's what I was doing in 75.
Well, that kind of is a good lead into why are we having you guys on here. Like I said, we specialize in annuities. We started out in life insurance, and now, thank goodness, we have a great life insurance team because I used to be as good of a field underwriter as there is out there. And we did lots of life insurance, wrote a lot of personal life insurance business. But man, you step outside of something like that for 2 seconds and you don't even know where you are anymore. And so we have some really good life insurance team members that's all they do is life insurance. And now with senior marketing specialists, we have someone that only does Medicare and is going to be able to support our agents doing that. What does that look like for us? So, what we're trying to accomplish here is there's a bunch of Medicare agents out there that really want to sell annuities. And, if you have $100,000 or $200,000 renewable commission book, you could double that commission in a couple sales with annuities. And it's not that hard, especially with our help. So we have a sales process for that. So we're kind of reaching out to the Medicare agent that has an established book and wants to do better on the annuities side, and also wants to do better on the Medicare side. So we're bringing in the partner, one of the premier partners for Medicare, and then reaching out to anybody that wants an annuity partnership too. So if you're doing Medicare and want to do more annuities, then come to us. If you're doing annuities and you want to do Medicare, come to us because we will hook you up with the best source of that. The whole point of this is to create that sustainable business, to have that kind of residual income that comes from Medicare, and then also to be able to have those big ticket sales and be able to help high net worth clients or even middle America with annuities. So you guys started a long time ago. Tell me a little bit about your core value propositions as far as how you support agents. Tell me about, marketing, for example. What do you do for agents on a marketing level?
Of course, yeah. I would say we thrive on partnerships in general. I mean, I think when everybody, it was hard with working and trying to decide, what partner should I work with? We all kind of say the same thing. We all make the same promises. So you have to make sure, like when you're working with somebody, you have to find people who care. And I think that's 100% where we differentiate, is that we just genuinely care and want to see you successful. And you do see that in our value propositions and what we do for agents. So first of all, being on the marketing sides of things, we don't underestimate marketing. We don't underestimate the value of making sure that you as an agent can get your name out there and start building a referable client base. You know what I mean? So that's something that we really pride ourselves in. And marketing can mean so many different things. We have a full-time army of team members here who work on our marketing. So that includes things like marketing pieces for you that are branded for you as an agent, does your value adds for your clients that are completely run through the mill for compliance. And again, they're designed by graphic designers. They're designed by people, you can go on and go buy marketing pieces, but they're not made by insurance agents. They're not made by people who are targeting this demographic. So we have that are proven to work. We do like social media help. So not only will we help you build your Facebook page, we'll help you work on, boosting posts, lead generation, things like that. But we give you Facebook content daily to where all you have to do is come to our stuff, copy and paste that content for the day and put it on your own social media, which is a huge time saver. And again, it's compliant. We'll do a ton of coaching with you. We help you. We talk about building a 3-pronged marketing system. Our goal is, if you're interested in leads, let us help you with leads. But I think long-term solution is, let's get you off of asking for leads and let's get you off that reliance. So we'll help you build marketing systems that fit, your sales style, your demographic, everything. They're all so individualized. And right now, especially if you're familiar with the compliance behind Medicare Advantage and Part D, we have an on-staff compliance officer who is available, for you, just like they're available for our own staff. So if you have your own marketing pieces that you just want to give like the little label that these are okay, these are going to be fine, we have a compliance officer who will look them over and tell you if they do need change. We'll help you through that process.
And that's a real important thing with Medicare, right? We always like to say the only business you make is the business you keep. And if you're, there's no money you can make that's worth the day a regulator comes knocking on your door. So it's so important to do things the right way and to have that partnership. That's one of the great things about how things have worked out with Integrity's, all the lawyers that we have access to now.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, yes.
yeah, I mean, just a massive amount of resources that would be beyond our scale otherwise. What do you guys do on the, tell me about the marketing aspect of Medicare. I imagine a lot of it is referral based, right? But do you have lead gen too? You have actual
Mhm.
leads that the agents can hook up with to, especially someone
Yeah.
that's trying to get going?
Yeah. So, the goal of any business that you have, the goal is always going to be, and what you strive for is referral based, word of mouth, is to not ever have to go and buy another client ever again. But especially if you're starting out or you're new in this space or you want a boost of sales, leads are going to be very appealing to you. So again, thanks to the partnership we have with Integrity, we have really awesome turnkey systems that will allow you to kind of plug in and build full lead campaigns and have a steady supply of leads coming in from 40 different vendors that you can literally just toggle, flip on a switch, and start receiving these leads.
Yeah,
We
it's all
also
it's
have
all
like,
integrated, and they have their own
it's
call
insane.
center, and
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
massive, right?
It is crazy. And again, we've done so much research with our compliance team trying to find lead vendors that are willing to play ball with a lot of these compliance.
Mm,
A lot of them are saying it's not our problem. They're willing
right.
to put the agent's license on the line for them to make a penny. And so working through what we've done, and working with Integrity to just, again, it works like Amazon. You literally sit down,
Yeah.
toggle a switch that says you're available, and these leads start coming to you. It's a crazy turnkey system.
In building a business based on partnerships, what I found is so key is it builds a business based on influence, because you
Mhm.
make yourself bigger than you are, right? So you have influence over those vendors and the different companies
Yeah.
that you reach out to, and you're able to get them to do things that otherwise, an individual agent would never be able to get a lead vendor to make compliant decisions on their own, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
super important. Uh, Medicare is what I used to do a lot of PNC. I spent 13 years in PNC. One of the reasons I got into the annuity business is because it was a low touch business. Uh,
Mhm.
in other words, you didn't have a lot of client contact. Yeah. And
Sure.
so Medicare is definitely what I'd call one of those high touch businesses, right? And
Absolutely.
so back office is super important in this business, right? Being able to, all the admin support. So tell me a little bit about what
Mhm.
you do on that end.
Well, I'll just commend you first of all for doing PNC, because that has to be the hardest insurance job is PNC. There's so much work, and so I would put like Medicare kind of in between PNC and like the annuity or life insurance, where it is much more high touch than the annuity or life insurance sale. But that's why we get paid renewal commissions. You get paid a renewal commissions that are very sizable and add up to make sure you maintain that relationship with that client. And that is something that we absolutely strive to help agents with. I think a pride and jewel of senior marketing specialists is going to be our agent resources team, because that's exactly what we are. We are agent resources, and
Mm,
we talk about being servicing our agents before, during, and after the sale. So before the sale could be looking things like, what I have a client with these conditions, what underwriting can I do for them? They're coming off this type of insurance. Is it credible? When can they enroll for Medicare? Literally every question from how does Medicare work all the way down to how is, United Healthcare going to handle my type 2 diabetic? It's truly, we help you prep for that appointment. During the sale, we have tons of resources for you to connect with us where your client doesn't even have to know. You can text our team, you can live chat our team, email, and of course, call. Every time you call, you get a live human being. But we help you, and again, we'll help you through that appointment, either if it's, I don't know how to close this appointment, or if it's, how this e-application's not working, how do I handle that? So we really, take a really hands-on approach to helping our client, or helping, I say our clients are our agents, succeed. And then after the sale, it's, when do I get paid on this? I don't feel like I got the right commission. My business is pending. What's going on? So it's truly, I always say, we are your back office. We are, instead of you being on the hold with carriers, we'll do it. Plus, because of our size, we're one of the largest FMOs in the nation, representing in all 50 states. because of our size, we get special escalated lines with certain carriers, with most carriers, so that you may be on hold for 3 hours, but we have a direct line to somebody there
Mhm.
because we are senior marketing specialists. So we get everything in writing. We never have to second guess our answers. And we make sure that you do get that full line of service because you're taking care of your clients. You're helping somebody decide healthcare choices and helping them finance that. We start with that in mind, so we help you really run a successful shop.
Yeah, that's so important. It's not a productive space for an agent to be in, to have to wait on hold with a carrier. And,
No.
uh, carriers are just having trouble with staffing, just like everybody these days.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I know in our business, we have Rachel Root, and oh my God, she does all of our back office,
Hmm.
new business follow up. I would literally quit if she quit. I mean,
Yeah. Right. I
she,
have several of those on my team.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'd be just like, okay, honey, time to find a palm tree. Um, yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's so important to have that back office and to have
it is.
dependable people and the way we do it too is they're vested in the sale. It's
Hmm.
we run our entire organization, so our agent partner sale is everybody's sale,
Hmm.
both
Hmm.
in logistics and in monetary awards.
For
So
sure. Well, this is a business, and it's important to know that like we and FMOs, but especially senior marketing specialists, we lose money on an agent up until they sell insurance. You know what I
right,
mean? We
yeah,
don't get receive
exactly,
it. So it's we have, as far as we care, we love our agents, we want them to see them succeed. But we have, an investment to make sure that that agent gets to production and gets to a sustainable amount to
yeah.
where they're able to live off that. It's very important,
Otherwise,
and
what's the
it's a
point,
true
right?
partnership.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
that's what it's all about. So I noticed I was been cruising your website last couple days, your YouTube channel. You guys have a massive amount of resources. I mean, the
We do.
training is amazing. I'm trying to get to that level. I mean, we have a lot of training. I've been doing a
Mhm.
podcast by myself and with some partners for almost
Mhm.
10 years, and we have 10 years of archives of all this training
Mhm.
we've done. Um, but even with all that content, I'm still impressed with yours. So tell
Thank
us a little
you.
bit about your training process. Let's say you have a new, if you, let's look at it two ways. You have a new
Sure.
agent, he wants to start doing Medicare. What do you do in that situation? And then what about someone who's already established? How can you make their business better through the resources that you have too?
You just lined that up perfectly for me because that's one of my favorite things about our training is that we help agents regardless of where you're at in the lifespan of your agency. We have something for every stage of your agency. And so, that's something you talk about the amount of training that we have. This is something we've been building for years and years and years and years. And it's something that we are really, really proud of. So thank you so much for your kind words. But what we strive is we want to make sure that we're meeting agents where they want to be. So we, regardless of where they're at in the span of their agency. So that means basically live trainings, face-to-face trainings, and then also on demand or the YouTube or the university style trainings. And so we offer all of those because again, we want to meet you where you're at. So as far as working with an agent who maybe they are new to the industry. They've been selling other lines of insurance for a long time, but they're new to Medicare. Or the ink is still wet on their licensing. They just got that done.
Yeah,
We do things like Medicare Quick Start to where it's a week-long program. It's 2 hours a day, it's live, 2 hours a day virtually, where we'll go on and teach you soup to nuts, everything you need to
nice.
know to be successful in this industry. A little bit of it is a Medicare 101 because you have to know what the products you're selling, but there's so much more things that go into being a successful agent in this industry than knowing Medicare. So we teach you how to own an agency. Is maybe an agency of one, but how to have it own and be successful agency in this space. And we do those live. We have our university, which is sms-university.com. Anybody can check that out. You don't have to have a contract with us. We offer that to the industry, as they come just to kind of check out who we are. But we have Medicare courses on there. So if you are more of an on-demand person, you can learn the basics of Medicare. But then we have things on there, what is the 8-step selling process? Do you have a selling process? How to build a 3-pronged marketing system? How to close a sale, the right way, things like that. And of course, retention, tons of training on retention. So that's how, we get somebody started. We give them the bases that they need to be successful. The other side of that is somebody who comes into us and wants to, either when they come to us, they're either wanting to grow or they're wanting to get out of the business. We see that a ton as well. And so we have a ton of training on the other side of things like, how do you add an admin? How do you pay an admin? How do you add downline agents? Should you add downline agents? Does that match up with your goals? How do you make sure that you get contracted correctly as an S corp or an LLC so that you can retire, so that you can, leave a legacy in this industry and you don't have to work until you're 85 years old because you can't retire. So again, I think we strive in the industry to be known as the training FMO, but really what we strive is to make sure agents know how to enter this market, but just as importantly, how do you leave this market? I think, that's a lot of people don't start with the end in mind, and we're really proud to be in that space.
Yeah, and we're in a unique position, right? Because we're partners with the largest Medicare distributor in the entire United States, Integrity. So
It's
if you're
wild.
looking for an exit strategy, we can provide that for you in the Medicare space,
Yes.
and
Yes.
like no other. And you know that your clients will be in good hands, which is important.
Well, it is. And a lot of people don't think about, the ways of growth. There's the organic growth, which is I'm going to build my client base one at a time, and that way. There's also through acquisition. I'm going to buy a book of business.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be surprised on how many agents come to me and say, hey, I bought a book of business. So what do I do? And you look at, the carriers they have, the carriers that they bought, and you said, no, you didn't buy anything. They said, well, my lawyers looked at it. I gave them a large sum of money for this. And you have to say, well, the carriers don't care about what your lawyers say. This is what you signed in your contract. So that is something we always, it's a new when we look into, 2022 and beyond. Acquisition is a huge method of growth and a great option for a lot of agents. Make sure you have the right partners in place because there's a lot of nuances to it. If you think you have a lawyer and your buddy Steve who you're buying the business from, and you think you got it covered, you really do need guidance in this industry to be able to grow that way. There's so many nuances.
Yeah. Even through the acquisition process, I learned the value of good attorneys.
Yes.
It always
Yes.
seems like a love-hate relationship, but
Always. They love your money, that's for sure.
but yeah, man, they can see things, that sometimes you just don't see. Tell us a little about the incentives. What do you get? We don't need to get into the details of commissions. Obviously, you guys offer competitive commissions. But how do you incentivize the agent partners in your program?
So there's kind of two ways that I talk about incentivizing when I'm working with agents. And there's one that there is that monetary incentive and even in addition to commissions. And again, I keep flagging that integrity flag. Their partnership that we have with them, we get crazy agent incentives to where, some of them are saying you can get up to $250 extra per app, depending on the carrier and depending if it's underwritten, that no other organization gets. You only can get these not discounts, you only can get these incentives through an integrity partner. And that's really cool to be, like you mentioned earlier, to be the giant in the industry that gets to tell the carriers, they get to tell the carriers, this is what we want you to do. And the carriers don't really have another option but to listen to them and to abide by that. So we do, again, there's a ton of incentives going on right now through the end of the year, but we'll see them year after year after year that are specific to Medicare supplements, specific to, you have to be careful with the Medicare Advantage Part D side, but there's a lot of extra really cool marketing dollars that can be given out tied to those. And so it's, again, there's that monetary incentive that only comes through an integrity partner. And then the other incentive that I talk about is just making sure you're with a partner that works for you. I mean, working with an FMO should never be an extra step. It should never be like, oh, I can't just call the carrier. That's annoying. You know what I mean? We never want to be a hindrance to that business. So incentives to have your contracts through us or an integrity partner are things like Medicare Center, which allows you to quote, enroll, compare, email, every Medicare Advantage and Part D applications, quotes, everything. It literally does the selling for you for Part C and Part D. Things like that lead center where I talked about, where you can literally just plug in, flip a switch, start getting those leads sent to you. We have a T65 app that literally you can be in a neighborhood, flip on a switch, and it'll tell you everybody who is Medicare age in that area if you want to
Wow.
do some marketing. And so there's a lot of incentive to partner with somebody like senior marketing specialist that's outside of just, what kind of money can I get from writing these applications? The money is
Wow.
very important, but there's a lot more to think about than who's giving free leads.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I like what you're saying because our slogan or our value pitch is marketing, case design, and sales process. I like to see that you're process driven. We have something called the 5-step sales process. And I think that's so important because I can take an agent who has remedial sales skills, remedial product knowledge, and I can give them a framework to work within. And then for him to advance or her to advance beyond that framework, they just have to learn the nuances and,
Absolutely.
but they still have a framework to work within, which is, I think, so important, kind of like guardrails on your bowling alley.
Yes.
You don't end up in
You're a bumper guy. I like it.
you don't end up in the gutter. And then of course you
Mhm.
got to be able to get in front of people. So, we have
Yeah.
2 jobs: get you in front of someone and show you what to do when you get there. And that sounds like you guys are perfectly aligned with that. So that's
Yeah,
exciting.
absolutely.
I've had prospective agents call me for partnership in the past, and they've said, I need annuity leads, and I ask them about what they do in their business, and it's not. It's pretty common actually that they say, I'm in Medicare. So I say, well, how much renewable commissions have? Oh, I have about 100 or 150,000. I'm like, great, that's really good business. And I said, how many annuities have you sold from those clients? And they said none. And yet they called me for annuity leads. And I'm like, you don't have a lead problem. You have a sales process problem. You
Yes,
have been
100%.
you have been in front of the demographic for the last 20 years. So that's really where this partnership is going to be great, because I have annuity agents that would like to add a residual income base business to their annuity business. And I have more Medicare agents out there that I've talked to over the past, decade and a half that have Medicare businesses and need a home for that. And then having the vested relationship, right? So if if you're listening right now and you have a good Medicare business and you want to increase your annuity business, but you've never sold an annuity, in all transparency, it's hard for me to get excited about helping you with annuities. But if you're a part of the Medicare partnership, if you join Senior Market Specialists and then we're helping you with your Medicare, that puts me in a position to be able to help you with your annuity business as well, because there's only so many hours in a day. So it creates that mutually vested relationship where everybody's winning. And then you can double or triple or quadruple the size of your business by adding annuities or vice versa.
Absolutely.
Really important for diversification. We saw with COVID, having that residual income, having I would call it a more compulsory type of product, right? Even if it's not required by law, it's really required by logistics. And creating a sustainable business, and also removing the competition. If you're out there selling annuities and you're not offering Medicare, your competition who writes Medicare and annuities might be meeting with your client, or vice versa. So kind of closing the gaps in the competition there. So that's why we're offering this. So very pleased to meet you and Senior Market Specialists, and to be colleagues now, and to be able to get the synergies of this partnership. So we're really looking forward to that. Do you have anything else to add?
No, and again, I thrilled. Thank you again for having me on the show. Can't say enough, about the partnership that we had thanks to Integrity. And so I think you're offering an amazing thing for agents. I couldn't agree more about wanting to be involved in the client conversation your clients are having. I know Forbes did a study a few years back that mentioned somebody over the age of 65 will spend $280,000 on medical expenses throughout the remainder of their lifetime. So it is
Wow.
a huge financial conversation that you need to be a part of to take care of your clients holistically. So I love what you're doing. Love that we're having the connections here. And again, wonderful having conversation. Can't thank you enough for this.
Well, definitely a pleasure. So next step. So for anybody that's listening, just reach out to us, info@annuityagentsalliance.com, or go to our website, annuityagentsalliance.com, and then there's a request info tab there. So send us an email, go to our website, fill out a form. We'd be glad to talk to you. Thanks so much, Olivia. And I'm really looking for this partnership. I think it's going to be great value for our business and also for our agent partners.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. You have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for listening to the Annuity Agents Podcast with Anthony Owen. For more information on how Annuity Agents Alliance will help you build your annuity business, go to annuityagentsalliance.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please do us a favor and don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell to be notified of future podcasts. If listening on a podcast channel, please leave your rating and review if you like the show. The information and opinions expressed here by third parties or guests are believed to be reliable, but the information cannot be verified or guaranteed by Annuity Agents Alliance. The opinions of guests do not necessarily represent those of Annuity Agents Alliance or its partners. The prior information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice and is for licensed financial professional use only.